Mass day, second mass day. It was like. It was like, you like, it was like, it's so good. I was like, it is long. I'm sure it's long.
9 feeling. They went to the church.
Sure. I tell her, you'll be fine. You'll make it.
Yeah. I didn't have to go. I don't feel that.
Whenever she has to wear the shirt, she knows it's the day. She's like, is it mass day? I was like, yeah. I'm so sorry.
Did she see anybody?
What?
I always ask them. Frankie. Did you see?
Oh.
Mm-mm. None of them said yes.
I asked her every day, what did you learn? What school would you learn about today? God. It's like, hey, I guess that's what we sent you there for.
Yeah.
We got 2 more minutes.
How's the weekend, Bob? Yep, busy. It's good. Good weather for it. Yeah, really good. Yeah. Okay.
Not these.
You want me to read this in the petitions? I mean, in the public information.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote it there. Okay. Yeah, was it there on the agenda? Funny, was it there on the weekend agenda? Must have skipped over. I knew it was coming because I got one in the mail myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I read it.
I think we do that.
We do it every year.
We're good.
Is it always the 26th?
It's usually this time of year.
Yeah. April 26th. I remember it last year. I just don't remember what day it was.
Volunteer to help plant the trees.
Oh, gotcha.
$8.
We planted 8 trees last year, wasn't it? Was it last year? We planted 8 trees. I think we did. Kennel, yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
We got 6 o'clock.
59:06 now. Okay. I'll call the meeting to order. Call of the roll.
Abby Hansen,
Here.
John Hawkins.
Yeah.
Megan McFarland,
Here.
Matt McKinney,
Here.
Logan Welch,
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible. And just.
Call for motion to approve the agenda. All those in favour say aye. Petitions, communications and requests. This is at the time of the meeting that a citizen may address the council on a matter not on the agenda, no more than 5 minutes per person, except in case of emergency, the city council will not take any action at this meeting. It must ask city staff to research the matter or have the matter placed on the agenda for a future meeting. You have anything for us? Okay, I've got a proclamation. The official proclamation in whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoils by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature and cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other products. And whereas trees in our cities increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our communities. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore, I, John Hawkins, Mayor of the City of Webster City, do hereby proclaim Friday, April 26th, 2024 as Arbor Day in the City of Webster City. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Yeah. Okay. Item 2, minutes, claims, reports and licenses. The following items have been deemed uncontroversial routine actions to be approved by the council in a single motion. If a council member or member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, we consider it on its normal sequence on the agenda. I have A, minutes of April 1st, special meeting, and April 1st, regular meeting. I have claims including payroll ending April 6th in the fund list. I have finance reports for November, December, and January. Reports for electric for February, electric, water, and wastewater for March. I have the police department activity report for March and citations by approach for March. And I have the fire department report for March and the yearly fire department report. Recommend approval for issuance of beer and liquor licenses by the Iowa Department of Commerce for the following: the special Class C alcohol license, 5-day, St. Thomas Aquinas Church at 1010 Des Moines Street for event to be held on Saturday, April 27th. And that's it.
Move to approve collectively.
Second. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Okay, general agenda. Motion to approve proposed 2024-25 property tax levy.
Jody Wolfgram will present.
Good evening, everyone. So staff is asking council to approve and certify the fiscal year 25 budget tonight. We had a few steps to get to this point. We had a work session, a special meeting on March 6th. We had a public hearing on Monday, April 1st at 5:45 on the tax levy, which invited all property owners that will be paying city taxes in the upcoming fiscal year a chance to voice their opinions and or concerns. We did not have any oral or written objections at that public hearing. And then the same night at the second meeting, we set tonight's public hearing. So the budget has an overall levy of $18.14 per thousand, which will generate $4,838,868 for fiscal year 25 for the general fund. Of this total, 45.27% is what goes into the pool for operation costs for the police, fire, parks, recreation, cemetery, planning and zoning, inspection, along with percentages for the city manager, city council, finance office, city hall, legal, GIS, and IT. The remaining dollars do have specific uses, such as insurance, retirements, FICA, debt service, Midas, and airport. John presented a 5-year budget projection for the general, electric, water, and sewer funds, along with the road use tax. He also presented a more aggressive street program to begin immediately to help give some of the rougher roads a new surface, and hoping to buy some years before we need to do the full replacement at approximately $1 million a block. We call this fund the capital improvement fund or sales tax fund, since the revenue stream from this is from the 1% local option tax. We have budgeted $12,937,490 in projects for this upcoming fiscal year amongst all the departments. Summary list has been attached by the department and for 5 years. We'll be bonding in the water and electric departments, provided council approves the request later tonight. And we'll come to council to bond for the general fund for the HVAC system at City Hall. Possibly we'll bond for street projects as well. We'll take a better look at that. So the budget is based on current rate ordinances for electric, which is an annual 1% on energy, and a 20% increase for water on the 1st of August of 2025, and then a 5% increase each year beginning August 1 of 2026. The sewer rate ordinance is very aggressive.
If I can interrupt just really quick.
Oh, yes.
While the water rate increases are built into the out years prior to implementing the next 25% increase, we would bring this back to review the budget. You have adopted an ordinance, but we would provide you an update.
Okay.
And that is similar with the sewer ordinance of next year as well.
That's what I was, the sewer we will.
I apologize for interrupting.
That's okay. It is aggressive, but depending on what that cost would be for the plant, we will continue to evaluate it. The road use and capital improvement sales tax funds pretty much are what we get. So, you know, it's dependent on road use is population and sales for their sales tax. So I did want to point out too, the notice of public hearing shows that we will be spending 15,321,496 more than we'll be collecting. Bonding will be the large portion. We're bonding this fiscal year, not next fiscal year. So we're getting the money this year, spending it next year, as well as the remaining 1,676,496 will be from reserves, mainly in the capital improvement fund. Any questions or?
Nope. So I need a motion to approve the proposed 2024-25 property tax levy.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then we have public hearing to certify the fiscal year 24-25 budget. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
Receive no written objections.
Are there any oral objections?
No oral objections.
I'll close the hearing. So we have a resolution adopting the following notice of hearing for the 2024-25 operating budget and certification of city taxes for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 for the city of Webster City, Iowa. To approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
And we didn't have have to go to the basement to do that this year. That's always a good thing. Could have been today.
Yeah.
I forgot to include that in.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? You know, the weather's like that again today. It's like, okay. All right. And then a resolution adopting the 2024-25 capital improvement and capital equipment budget and the 2024-25 through 28-29 capital improvement and capital equipment plan for the city of Webster City, Iowa.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Then we have C is a public hearing on proposal to enter into an electric revenue loan agreement. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
Receive no written objections.
Are there any oral objections?
No oral objections presented.
I'll close the hearing. There was a resolution taking additional action on proposal to enter into an electric revenue loan agreement. Do you want to talk about?
Yes, certainly. Thank you, Mayor and City Council. We have discussed this item previously as part of not only our budget work sessions, but also in the process that you engaged in to set this public hearing and consider it. The resolution authorizes the selling of $8.4 million in revenue bonds for the electric utility. The money from the 8.4 million will be used for the following purposes. AMI meters, $2 million. The Reisner substation city cost portion, 4.3 million. Undergrounding project in the northeast side of portion of the city, 1.9 million. There are a few fees listed for underwriters, cost of its issuance. That does fit within the 1% rate increase built into the 5-year budget. We do recommend approval, and I can answer any questions you have regarding this project.
Well, yeah. Call for resolution taking additional action on proposal to enter into an electric revenue loan agreement.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
D is a public hearing on proposal to enter into a water revenue loan agreement. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
Receive no written objections.
Are there any oral objections?
No oral objections presented.
Okay, I'll close the hearing.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor and council. Again, this is authorizing the issuance of bond proceeds of $5.2 million to complete numerous water projects within the water utility, primarily water plant upgrades, but also work in the distribution center, in the distribution system. The following projects would be included: a portion of the AMI meters. Some of that is actually being funded with the ARPA funds, as you were aware from our budget sessions, but the remaining portion for AMI meters, soda ash silo, day bins, blowers and feeders, an aerator, a housing structure and dust collector, silo, lime day bin, SCADA upgrades, a thickener mechanism, looping a system on the east side of the community, Fairmeadow water portion, phases 2 in anticipation of not only this year's, but next year's. Brewer Wilson water portion for work being anticipated by the HMA projects in this year or next year. Clarify components, water valves and hydrants. If some of these projects, for instance, the phase 2 of the Wilson Brewer Fairmeadow project would not proceed, these funds would be available for other items that you've designated in the 5-year equipment replacement and would be a benefit to the water fund in terms of their fund balance and maintaining rates steady for ratepayers. So we do recommend approval of the resolution, and it is within the budget that you did adopt earlier tonight.
Move to approve.
A resolution taking additional action on proposal to enter into a revenue loan agreement.
Move to approve.
Like it? Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Here is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Williams and Company to perform fiscal year 24-25 audit services for the city of Webster City. We're happy to have them.
Yes, I'm actually very excited to say that they are willing to give us a 2-year extension. I know it's costly, but I honestly think that we would pay more going somewhere else if we could even find anyone. Pretty sure we wouldn't even find anybody and we would have the state. The state will do it. They will not give us a specific cost, just its time, labor, per diems, mileage, and they will not give us a set date, which would cause a problem, just like bonding now. We need the audit for that. It would be a huge detriment to us if we didn't have that. I did reach out last year to try to find somebody else. At that time, a minimum was going to be 80,000 with the entire audit being remote. Williams and Company will be on site for a week. If we wanted them to come on site, they wouldn't promise anything, but if they did, additional mileage, meals, lodging would be added to that. And I do know that I don't get Grapevine and ClerkNet, but Carol and Beth do. They're telling you, they send me messages a lot that a lot of towns are scrambling, that they've lost their auditor. In fact, one of the towns recently posted that Williams and Company chose to no longer provide the audit. So again, I'm very pleased that Justin would give us a price. So
You must be easy to get along with.
yes, I am. So I don't know, do you have any questions?
No. Roll for motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Dodie. F is a request from Hamilton County Fair to hold the fair parade on July 23rd, 2024.
This is just a standard request every year. It involves Second Street, which is one of the streets that's on the closure policy that needs to come to council. Same staging area, same route in the past.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
G is a request from the Webster City Chamber of Commerce for street closure of 500 and 700 blocks of Second Street and 700 blocks of Des Moines Street on Thursdays in June through August from 4 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. for Webster City Market Nights. Additional closure requests for North City parking lot in 700 block for Classic Car Nights and on June 20th, July 18th and August 15th. Evening, Anna.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for your time today. We come before you with a request for a street closure in downtown Webster City. This year, we'll be requesting the 3 blocks be closed. This is going to allow us to have additional activities such as the foam parties and also tap into the 500 block, have motorcycles down nightly. We also are asking to utilize the north parking lot behind the Lift and Elks building for our classic car events. We do expect a larger turnout this year. And in last year's event, we were able to fill the entire 700 block with automobiles and had to overflow into some of the side streets. So we do believe we'll need more ad space this year.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Thank
Happy to
you.
answer any questions you may have.
No? Doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Item H is a motion to reject all bids on the demolition of property at 614 First Street.
Yes, this is. Just wanted to get a little background on this before. The council is aware of much work that you've done to resolve the issue at 614 First Street. And part of the next step that we were taking is a bid to demolish the home. We had budgeted an amount of 25,000. As you can see, the low bid was 49,000. The other 2 bids were 70,000. A lot of what's driving this cost is asbestos removal. Siding, I believe, has asbestos. So we're recommending that you reject these bids and allow staff to go back and see if we can determine more cost-effective ways of resolving the demolition. A second idea that was raised by staff that I did want to discuss with the council or get your feedback on is whether or not, if we cannot get the cost of the demolition down, whether you'd be interested in selling the property if it would be rehabbed. I am not in a position to say right now if it's in a condition that it can be sold and rehabbed. But that was a question raised to my office by the staff that were working on this.
These guys have been in it. A few times. I guess you give somebody to look at it, but
Yeah, so for tonight, really, we're just asking to reject the bids and then come back with
yeah,
some ideas.
obviously we can't afford to be down at 70,000, 49,000. Okay,
Move to reject the bids.
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item I is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign and execute amendment number 30 with Snyder and Associates to provide professional services needed for the 2024 HMA Street Improvement Project. Good evening, Brandon.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
John.
Amendment 30, this is to work with Snyder and Associates to provide professional services needed for the 2024 HMA Street Improvement Project. This project is split up into 2 different locations. The first one is the Brewer Wilson, kind of what we're calling it, project. That, as you can tell in the memo, the more northern half of this project is more of a mill and fill HMA project. The south half, going up the hill, will be dealing with curb and gutter, storm sewer, and then the top of the hill will be some water main improvements. So that'll be location number 1. And that is, we're looking at next summer. So once school gets out next summer, to allow construction to happen when the kids are out of school. We all know that's a busy location. The second location would be kind of what we brought to you guys a couple weeks ago for more streets that we would like to see done with mill and fill.
Brian, can you scroll down to the location ones and as he's talking about them. I think it's, yeah, down in the ways in the memo. Apologize for interrupting.
Is there a map in there,
You
Brandon?
just went by
Yeah.
him. You went by him.
I don't know if there's a map. in
Okay.
there or not.
Yeah, there's,
there was
there's a map.
There's the location too.
Yeah, but it's,
Location.
I think there's maps in there.
Down further
down, yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's
Keep
available. You'll see if I can.
Page 169.
169.
So as Brandon mentioned, because the Brewer Wilson portion of the projects is one of the larger ones, and there was other work needing to be done with utilities like storm and water.
Yep.
Brandon and John Alderman, who's here tonight from Snyder, if you need to ask questions, recommended that they thought we'd probably get better pricing with a longer planning horizon rather than trying to rush that this year. And so we would recommend waiting until next year to do that, even though I know it has been a top priority of the community.
And that's kind of piggyback on top of that, moving to location two. That's what kind of I'm most excited about is to get rolling with that this year. So those locations, Water Street, Boone Street, East Street, Bell Avenue, and then Third Street. So these locations, we're already talking about getting going on this right away. So we want to get working together and start the process as soon as possible. So two different locations, kind of projects, but all in the same amendment to work with Schneider Associates. So, have any questions or anything?
Thank you.
And there's several other locations in there.
Yeah.
In that package, I think you're aware of in the packet, so.
Yeah,
Just
so
as a nice visual, I'd encourage people who might be along the road to or the projects to take a look at the packet, because there is good boundary markers there for them to review.
And with these HMA locations, we're doing the mill and fill, very minimal spot repair, curb and gutter. A lot of our information that we got back on our PCI reports and stuff like that, your Boone and Water, they're in tough shape. So it's important we get in there and get this stuff taken care of. And we want to see our pavement last as long as possible, and we think this is the best route to do that. So.
Good. Thanks, Brandon. Call for motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Item 4, closed sessions. Meet in closed session to discuss the purchase or sale of particular real estate only where premature disclosure could be reasonably expected to increase the price governmental body would have to pay for that property or reduce the price governmental body would have to receive for that property as provided by chapter 21.5J, the Code of Iowa. And B is to meet in closed session to evaluate the performance of the city clerk, which is necessary to prevent needless irreparable injury to the individual's reputation. Then individual requests a closed session as provided by chapter 21.5 of the Code of Iowa.
Need to go into closed session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. That's it, fellas.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Right? Shorts.
Do you need us
Do
to
you need
sign
anything signed or
anything?
anything? Abby loves signing things.
Sure. Shoot picture too.
No, no picture, please.
And she wants a picture taken. Here,